Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do some more maintenance on my 2018 Chevy Colorado. This is something that usually gets overlooked by most people, including myself. What we're going to do is flush the cooling system. Okay, so we're not actually going to completely flush the cooling system. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain whatever I can get out of it. And then I'm just going to replace it with a 50-50 mix of Dex Cool. That'll help freshen it up, but it won't be a full flush. Well, a lot of times what you'll do is you'll drain it out and then fill it up with water and then drain it out. Just keep doing that until you get the old coolant completely out of the system. So my thought is what we'll do, we'll drain out what we can and put new fluid in. And depending on how much I can actually get out, maybe 6 months down the road, I'll do it again. And then from there, probably once every 2 years. But anyway, we're going to have to get under the truck. Okay, so to get to the drain plug on the radiator, we got to remove this here shield. There's just 4 15mm bolts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So I'll remove them. So I got that splash shield off, so now we want to remove the cover for our coolant tank. Okay, so here's the drain plug or peacock, whatever you want to call it, for the radiator. So just turn it counterclockwise, I would suspect. We got a container here to drain it into. Okay, so we'll just leave that for, I don't know, let it drain till it stops, I guess. Okay guys, so I let it drain here for about 15 minutes. I didn't get out quite as much as I was hoping. I'm going to try something. It probably won't work, but anyway, I chalked the wheels. And I got the jack under the back. I'm going to jack the back end up and see if that helps bring some more of the water out. It probably won't, but we'll give it a try. Okay, we did get a little bit more flowing, but I think you'd have to jack it pretty high to get any amount out of it. Okay guys, this is what we got out of it. I would say we got around 6.5 liters, which should be pretty well half of what's in the truck. So that's actually better than I was expecting. Anyway, I put it in these jugs. We'll take that to be recycled. And I looked at the coolant real good. The coolant looks to be in good shape. There wasn't hardly anything floating in it. So I'm happy to see that. So anyway, we're gonna refill it now. Okay guys, to refill it, I'm gonna vacuum fill it. I bought this here off Amazon. It was only just a little over $100, so it'd be less than 100. It'd be less than 100 US. Now I've just got to find the right cap that fits. That one seems to be the one. You slide that on. Tighten it up good so it's got a good seal. Okay, and this thing here plugs into here like this. You need an air compressor. So I ain't got nowhere to really hang it on this truck, so I'll have to probably hold it by hand here most of the time. But anyway, we'll get the air compressor. You probably won't be able to hear much. My air compressor is just a small one, so it'll probably run quite a bit. But what we want to do is draw a vacuum on this. Okay, so we got this all hooked up. We hooked it into the coolant tank, and it goes to here. And the air compressor goes in here, and this here will turn the air on. And then you got to flip this, and that'll start drawing a vacuum. You want to get the vacuum up here, in somewhere between the yellow and the green. Okay, so once you get it up the vacuum, you want to just leave it and make sure it holds. So it says to leave it for a few minutes. Seems like it's holding. And move this out of the road. So looks like it's holding. And you can see where it crushed the coolant hoses. Okay, so I got my coolant. And this hose here is what draws your coolant in. You want to put that right down to the bottom of the jug. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some more air to pull the air out of this hose, out of the line. We turn that, and then we turn this one here. Okay. And shut the air back off. Okay, so get the air out of the line. Then all you got to do is just turn this, and it'll start drawing the coolant. You got to keep an eye on your jug, make sure she doesn't empty out on you. She seems to be drawing it in pretty quick. Okay. So the jug's getting close to being empty. I'm going to shut this off. See, it still holds the vacuum. We'll go grab our other jug. Okay, so I got my other jug. I'm just going to pull this out. There's a vacuum still on it, so it shouldn't lose any. And this has a little screen on the bottom to keep from drawing in particles. There wouldn't be none in the new fluid anyway. Okay, so we'll just crank her back on. And we just wait for this to drop to 0. See, this hose still hasn't filled up yet. Okay, I'm just going to close this off. I'm going to dump some more fluid in here. Just want to make sure we don't end up sucking air. Okay, this hose is starting to open up again. Yeah, so it should be filled. So anyway, disconnect that air hose. Okay, so we're going to disconnect this. I should allow that to drain back in, maybe not. There we go. So we'll clean this stuff up and then we'll start the truck and see if it bled it properly. Okay, here's something I forgot to mention. Is this also comes with a thing that you can pressure test your cooling system. Now I knew that this one didn't leak, but I tested it anyway before I did this. The reason being I wanted to make sure that this thing didn't leak. Anyway, we'll try it here again. You just pump air into it. That's good. And like I said, this here is a good thing to do before you start, just to make sure that them caps work. Now it's holding. I know there's nothing wrong with this coolant system, so I'll release it. Okay guys, so we got it running. I left the cap off for now, just till it warms up, and then we'll make sure it throws heat, and then I'll tighten it down. Anyway guys, this is some of the things you have to do if you want to make your car or truck last as long as possible, and I think I'll be running this one for a while, so I'm going to try to get as much out of it as I can. As far as that tool goes, it makes it a lot easier, but you don't necessarily need it. But it didn't cost much, and I've got 3 or 4 vehicles here that I try to maintain, so something like that makes it a lot easier. Okay guys, so I had it out for a drive. It's thrown good heat. The temperature gauge is running right about where it always does, so I'd say she's good. It was pretty easy to do. I like that new tool. It's not necessary, but it sure helps a lot, and it's fairly cheap. And anyway, I hope this video helps somebody out, and we'll catch you in the next one.